All righty. All right now, partner, here we go. Here we go. Let's get this live stream going. Hello? Is everybody there? Hello, everybody. Welcome to the live stream today now, y'all. I am Colonel Sanders' cousin. Okay. Sheriff Drumstick, and you will address me as such, as we are, while we're watching this court trial, you will address me as Sheriff Drumstick, and anything else will not be tolerated. You will be banned immediately from the chat. Do I make myself clear? You see the badge right here. Sheriff Drumstick. Formerly known as Deputy Drumstick, but I rose through the ranks. Welcome to all the misses and ma'ams and madams in the chat. Howdy do now, y'all. Let's start. I do have some unfortunate news. I know a lot of y'all won't believe me, and so if you demand me to do so, I will show you the country fried receipts of the evidence, because I am Sheriff Drumstick. I called KFC because my local KFC is 19 minutes away, and that is 19 minutes there and then 19 minutes back, 40 minutes. And I already saw comments on my YouTube, when's the live stream starting? My Lord, Jumpsuit, get your crap together. So I called my local KFC, and they said, and it was a woman, a very nice lady. She did have a speech impediment. That's okay. That is fine. She did tell me that currently they're out of chocolate cake, but they do have cherry poppers. And I said, I'm not interested in cherry poppers. My chat demands chocolate cake. They said it won't be until tomorrow, so we will have to do that tomorrow. If you want me to review cherry poppers, I will get an order of cherry poppers from KFC delivered. Otherwise, we will do chocolate cake tomorrow. All right, now, y'all, let's get started on today's court coverage of Lori Daybell.
Let's bring the jury in.
Let's see if my headphones will will fit over my sheriff's hat. Oh, Lord. Well, now, howdy do, Kristen Weeks. Howdy do to you too. Howdy do. Howdy do now, y'all. All right.
Just is that
Here we go. Like, share, comment, get this live stream out. We got almost 300 people in the chat, y'all. Let's get it to 1,000. Let's have a good old rootin' tootin' yeehaw time. All right. Sheriff Drumstick, y'all. Sheriff Drumstick.
Detective Coons? I know we didn't really establish yesterday. I know that you're retired. Is that okay if I call you Detective Coons, or would you prefer something else?
Detective is fine.
Okay, thank you. Detective Coons, yesterday you testified that no stippling was found as a result of the shot on my husband's chest. Is that correct?
To my knowledge.
My husband's chest. Ma'am, your ex-husband. I don't think he'd appreciate you calling him your current husband. Shut your ding-dang bleached, shut your bleached bunghole. All right?
None was found.
Okay. So would it surprise you if the medical examiner expressed in his defense interview that there was stippling found in that shot?
Would it surprise me that he had found it? Not necessarily based on the information.
Okay. Would it surprise you if the medical examiner expressed that the shooter would have had to be 2 to 4?
Let me tell y'all something. I logged off here early last night, and I got in the bed in nothing but my little boxer briefs, my skivvies. I was in my skivvies in the bed, putting on King of the Hill, my comfort show. I got in the bed at 10:30 p.m. last night. I tuned in. They're still going. They were still going with this doofus right here. And now here's day 3. They still got this guy on. My Lord.
4 feet away for that stippling to be present?
And this is from your interview or from the report?
From the interview.
Okay. No, that actually would still be consistent with my observations at the scene.
Okay, great. If someone very muscular like my husband were 2 to 4 feet away from you holding up a bat, would you consider that a threat?
Ma'am, nobody, we don't assess the inches of said biceps and whether the man has a 6-pack or an 8-pack when determining a threat. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Ma'am.
And I would object to speculation, relevance.
Your Honor, I'm asking for his opinion as a professional and as a firearms expert.
He's not, okay.
That goes to the ultimate
hold on.
decision.
Now hold on now. Does the man bench 225 or does he not? Does the man bench 225 or does he not? That would determine the
Objection is sustained and it calls for a legal conclusion.
It calls for a legal conclusion?
Yes, move on.
Move on,
Were
doofus.
you present, Detective, when my husband was shot?
No, ma'am.
Is there a video recording of it?
To my knowledge, no.
So is your opinion then an educated guess about what really happened?
It's
Ma'am, why would there be a video recording of your husband getting shot? Did you whip out your iPhone 11? What are you talking about? You'd be the one to film it. You orchestrated it. You kidding me?
based on known facts.
Okay. Were you aware, Detective, that my husband and my brother were...
All right, I need everyone in the chat to stop typing drumstick chicken emojis. Stop sending chicken emojis. You're mocking me. My name is Sergeant Drumstick, and that's not funny. Show some respect. I have a badge. Sergeant Shardist Drumstick. Show some respect. No more chicken emojis. No more chicken emojis, or you will be banned from the
Ma'am, I
chat.
didn't know the relationship.
Did you know that they hung out and played golf together?
Objection, relevance.
Sustained.
Did you know that his handicap was 3 and that he's never hit a birdie in his life? Did you know that? Did you know that his average drive is 122 yards? Pathetic.
Your Honor, I'm going somewhere with this.
You ain't going nowhere.
Oh, I
My
guess,
follow-up question...
You're going
will
back to your
explain.
cell, ma'am.
I guess you can answer if you knew that they played golf.
I did not know.
In all of your investigation of my life, you never came across this information?
Objection, relevance.
Sustained.
Are you familiar with my husband's wishes for his funeral?
Objection, relevance.
Sustained.
Did you learn in your investigation that he named my brother Alex as one of his 5 best...
Lori, did you know that your trench coat was gotten from Goodwill? The Salvation Armicus? Did you know that?
friends?
And I'm going to object again to relevance.
Sustained.
Did you read the reports in this case?
I did not read all of the reports in this case. No, I've read mine and I've authored mine, but I have not read the other reports.
None of the other reports except for your own?
That's correct.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. You want to stick with that answer, Daniel Coons? All right. That'll be your downfall,
Are you familiar
brother.
with the
You're going to
follow-up
jail.
report You wrote dated July
You're going to
29th,
prison,
2019.
Mr. Coons.
You're going to have to be a little bit more specific.
Oh, don't you tell the Viper what she's going to have and have to not do. You understand me? This is coming from Sheriff Drumstick
You
himself.
review your reports in preparation for your testimony here today?
Yes, but I have not memorized the dates of when I made a report entry.
Okay. Would you like to see it to?
Kristen says, I'm just tuning in. Are we cosplaying? No, ma'am, we're not. What would lead you to think we're cosplaying? As I said, I'm Sheriff Drumstick. Show some dang respect. You understand? Or I'll drop all 11 herbs and spices right there on your noggin. You understand me? You'll get banned from the chat real quick. You're on final notice. Continue.
Refresh your recollection?
That
Continue.
would be helpful.
Okay.
Thank you.
Objection. The defense's glasses are fogged. Give her a Kleenex. Objection. I need to order a gavel. I need a gavel. I'm about to get on Amazon on the next recess and order me a gavel because this is ridiculous. They need me to take clearly they need me to take over. Sheriff Drumstick. You demand to see my badge? It's right here, ma'am.
Does that look
kidding
like a
me?
true and correct copy of your report, Detective?
You kidding me?
I believe it is.
And those Bates pages run from what to what, please?
They're obscured
It's right
in the footnotes of it, but it looks like it's
Oh, it's right here.
126 through 131.
Okay. And on the last page of your report, on Bates page 131, you explain what a shored wound is.
Yes, ma'am.
Could you read that underlined portion?
I would object to hearsay to reading it.
Sustained. You can ask him to explain what a shored wound is.
Okay. Can you explain to us what the shored wound is that you explained in your report?
Yes, a shored wound would be a wound created as an exit wound where the projectile is exiting the body and the body is either up against a firm surface or firm material like spandex type thing. That's how it's been explained to me.
Okay. That's fair. You said held in place by tight clothing.
I tell you, I'm getting on Amazon right after this stream, and I'm going to tell y'all now we're going to go about 2.5, maybe 3 hours, and that's a wrap. I don't give a crap. Okay. Did you know I developed a hernia and a hemorrhoid yesterday? A hernia and a hemorrhoid. Pretty much the worst 2 out of 10, the top 2 out of 10 H word medical conditions you can get. I got both of them yesterday. The top 2, 1 and 2. Yesterday. We're going about 2.5, 3 hours today. And if you don't like it, I tell you what you can do. You can lump it. How about that? And that's what we're doing. And that's what it's going to be, says Sheriff Drumstick.
Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay.
No, in all seriousness, y'all, I want y'all, no, real stuff. Keep Ariel, my girlfriend, keep her in your hearts and on your minds. I don't want to put her private business out there, but she did have a unfortunate medical accident happen on her side of the family. And we're going through it right now, you know. So keep her on your mind. I wasn't fully prepared for today. If I was, I would have traveled far and wide, an hour and a half out to get that chocolate cake for y'all. But we got some bad news this morning, and we've been dealing with that. Of course, that's priority and comes first. So just keep her on your hearts, y'all. She's so sweet, and she's staying strong. But we're doing all right. We're doing all right, y'all, and we're still trying to bring the funnies to you, you know. And she wanted me to. She wanted me to do this. She wanted me to get on here and interact with y'all and entertain y'all, you know. So, yeah.
Did you, in fact, and it says in your report, did you, in fact, collect my husband's clothing?
Yes.
Okay. And you took the clothing, it says, to the property storage facility. Is that correct?
Yes, it went to a drying cage.
Okay. Detective, are you familiar with bamboo clothing?
I can't say that I am.
Okay. Were you aware that on July 29th, 2019, my husband
Detective, are you familiar with 70% polyester, 30% cotton?
was wearing a $200 bamboo workout shirt?
Wow.
Objection to relevance.
He can answer if he knows.
What?
I have no idea what the cost.
What the hell does his bamboo shirt have to do with anything? Are you kidding me? Oh, I'm sorry. this doesn't have any relevance to the case. I just wanted to know my husband had great taste. Okay. What the hell are you talking about, ma'am?
Are you aware that bamboo is a heavy-duty fabric, not to rip or tear except under extreme conditions?
Oh, so what was it? Bulletproof? Was it bulletproof? Are you kidding me?
I've not done any research into bamboo fabric.
Okay. So could this fabric of his shirt have caused the wound to be short?
It
What?
could have been a contributor, but it would not have been in this particular case.
Ma'am, I could go out there with a 45 and dump the whole magazine into a stalk of bamboo, and it would blow it to smithereens. What are you talking about? So you're telling me his $200 shirt from Nordstrom wouldn't stop a bullet? Are you kidding? Oh, this whole thing sounds fishy, Your Honor.
Why so?
The body would have been on the floor where the bullet defect was in the floor.
So you just said in your report earlier that a shored wound could be caused by tight clothing. Is that correct?
Correct.
And you're saying that could not have happened in this case?
The shirt did not appear to be tight clothing to me.
Well, it was made of bamboo, as we established, right? Is that correct?
I am taking your word for it. I do not.
How would this man know what his shirt's made out of? You think, what is this, his dry cleaner? What are you talking about? Well, you know, we always check the tag to see what the material and what the washing machine instructions are before we perform CPR. You kidding me?
I know that it's a bamboo shirt.
Okay. And you did not investigate that at all?
No, ma'am.
But you had the shirt in your possession,
It was seized as evidence, yes.
and you never checked what kind of fabric it was,
No, ma'am.
and you never checked if that could be a possibility.
No, ma'am.
And so you're telling me you weren't impressed by the fact he was wearing silk cheetah print underwear? Interesting. Interesting. I rest my case. Ma'am, please.
And you knew that spandex was kind of a material that could make that kind of shored mark that you just mentioned, correct?
It would have to be super tight clothing.
Super tight clothing.
Yes.
Or a fabric that's even stronger than the spandex that you mentioned.
Well, how about maybe Kevlar? Oh, what are you, a bamboo? Ma'am.
The strength of the fabric, I don't believe, has a huge play in it unless it is form-fitting and compressing the skin, much like a hard surface or firm surface would.
Okay. But what you said in your report was that held in place by tight clothing could cause a shored wound.
As has been explained to me, yes.
Okay.
Melanie Copeland, oh my God, I'm late, and what the heck are you wearing? First of all, back it up, sister. Second of all, shut your mouth. Third of all, my name's Sheriff Drumstick, and you will show respect, or I'll slap these cuffs on you so quick you won't know how small or large your ventricles are. You understand me? Now sit back down. What's wrong with you?
Okay. Detective, in your report, you mention
Straight to jail.
let's see.
What's wrong with you?
So it is possible that his shirt could have caused the wound and not the floor.
I'm going to object to asked and answered.
Doof.
I'll let him answer.
I don't know if it's possible or not for that particular shirt to have caused a short wound.
Because you did not.
By the way, does anybody appreciate the thumbnail that I created for this? It says, I call Nephi to the stand, and I haven't heard one person reference how comedically genius that is. And you know what? That disappoints me. I dang near want to take my hat off, throw it to the ground, and stomp on it in agony. Do I even deserve this badge anymore? My Lord.
Do any investigation about the shirt?
Because the shirt did not appear to be form-fitting and very tight.
Did it cover over the shoulder where the wound kit was?
It was a full T-shirt at the time.
Thank
That's
you,
what I'm
Alyssa.
saying. So
Alisa.
was the T-shirt where the wound was on his back, where the bullet exited, was his shirt covering that part of his body?
Certainly.
Okay. Was there a hole in the shirt at that location?
Yes, ma'am.
How big was the hole?
About the size of a bullet. What the hell are you talking about? How big is the hole under your nose, you wide mouth wagicus rapscallion? What? I tell you, I'm about to. I tell you, I'm about to toss my cowboy hat up in the air, out of protest.
The size of the bullet?
So small. Small.
Fabric stretches and contracts, so it was a bullet size.
Okay. So when you had this shirt,
Hey, y'all hit that like and hit the share, hit the comments, do anything you ding dang long John Slim Jim can. Let's get this thing up to 1,000 viewers, all right?
and you saw the bullet hole, it was after the shirt had been cut off by the firefighters. Is that correct?
Make them
It hadn't
respect
been
Sheriff
cut off, it had been
Drumstick.
cut down the middle, down the front,
So just the front was cut. So the back was intact?
minus the defects that we have seen from the bullet exits, yes.
Okay. So you were able to measure that. Do you have a measurement for those bullet holes in the shirt?
No, ma'am.
Okay. So it is possible that his shirt could have caused the wound, the shored wound.
Object, again, that we've asked and answered this 3 times
Sustained.
now.
Okay, so is it possible that any shirt,
Your Honor, she's asked this same question 3 times. My Lord, Lieutenant Lord.
could have caused a shored wound in any kind of,
And I'm going to object to foundation as to any overly broad.
as an expert,
We've boosted we've skyrocketed past 700, y'all. Let's keep it going. We're on our way.
as an expert, and in your professional opinion, could that fabric of his shirt that he was wearing that day caused a shored wound?
Again, I'm going to object to asked and answered multiple times.
Doofus.
Sustained.
Doofus.
In the last paragraph of your report, Detective, you indicate that you were able to confirm your
Siobhan Wright, thanks for the donation. Did I miss the KFC chocolate cake? Brother, you missed a lot. And you will address me as Sheriff Drumstick.
suspicion
You
of the
understand
body
me?
position at the scene. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And what did you mean by suspicion?
Well, at the time, I couldn't see through his body to see the full trajectories, so I did need the information from the autopsy. The trajectory rods helped with that, as well as the doctor's statements. All of that combined did give me the 2 different bullet paths.
Okay. And then, can you tell me, Detective, what happened to my husband's shirt? Do you know where it is now?
It is in evidence, as far as I'm aware.
And it's,
Can you tell me what happened to it? It's a nice shirt. I'd like to donate it. Ma'am, please. What the hell's wrong with you? Let's talk about your short. Let's talk about your shirt. Because I guarantee you, Paul Revere didn't warn the Americans that the British are coming just to have you wear his trench coat in court. You understand? You understand what I'm telling you? Do you understand, ma'am? All right. Lori Revere.
when you looked at it, where was it?
The last I physically saw that shirt was when I handed it off to a crime scene tech to put into a drying cage with the instructions, once it was dry, to have it moved into the property facility.
And so, did you see it after it was in the property facility?
No, ma'am, I have not.
So you saw it before it was dried, is that correct?
While it was wet from the medical examiner's office, yes.
And that's when you examined it?
I had seen it at the scene as well.
And then,
I'm telling you now, someone on her legal team has advised her to start referring to Charles Vallow as her husband. Because she wasn't doing that. I'm telling you right, she wasn't doing that on day 1 and 2. Now it's day 3. Now she's starting to refer, oh, my husband, my husband. Someone has advised her to start doing that. That's some bull crap. And that's the ding dang bottom line coming right here at you. Sheriff Drumstick.
did you ever examine it?
No, ma'am.
Okay, so you saw it twice.
That's fair.
Okay.
Draco, the Cane Corso, said, "Is that rodeo jumpsuit?"
So you
No,
didn't
sir. The
test it for
sheriff,
anything?
Sheriff Drumstick.
I did not.
You show
Did
some
anyone test it
respect.
for anything
I
that
do
you're
not
aware
know.
of?
I'll arrest you.
That you're aware of?
I do not know.
Throw you in the
So you're
slammer.
not aware of it?
Correct. I do not know if anybody else tested it.
Okay. Was the wood floor tested for any fragments of the projectile?
It was actually seized, so it was not tested.
And what does seized mean?
We cut it out of the floor and kept it.
Well, ma'am, I'm happy to give you a Webster's dictionary. What the fuck is wrong with you? What does seized mean? Ma'am, do you have a 7th grade education? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? What does seized mean? You know, like the officers busted in your cell and seized your bottle of peroxide? That's what seized means.
Right, and then was it tested after it was seized?
No, ma'am.
So the wood floor plank that was taken from my residence was never tested for any fragments of the projectile?
The projectile was intact, minus a deformity to it.
Okay. But
Okay.
there wasn't any reason, are you saying there was no reason to test it?
There had been no implication or indication that there was a request for it to be tested.
Nephi, take the wheel. Give me one more shot. I'm gonna bleach my hair so the witness thinks I'm hot. Nephi, take the wheel. Order chocolate cake. Please find me innocent, for goodness sake. Nephi, take the wheel.
And you wouldn't do that to see if the projectile actually hit the floor?
Yes, ma'am.
No, ma'am. All the other circumstances and information that led up to that decision to seize the floor, everything appeared that it was going to be related to the actual bullet that passed through your husband's body and struck the floor.
Wouldn't testing the floor actually be the easiest way to be sure that the bullet hit the floor?
Not necessarily would it leave anything behind. Like I said, the bullet was a full metal jacket. It was still intact. There had been a significant amount of blood that had pooled in it. I do not know if there would be residue left behind in it for testing.
Fair.
Fair.
Okay.
Well, if Lori says it's fair, then all's well that ends well. You understand? It's all fair in love and war. You understand me? It's all fair in being a whore. I mean, love and war, and the bullet fragments in the floor, bamboo shirts like you've never seen before. I'm sorry, Your Honor.
Was the projectile tested for any marks from the floor?
No, ma'am.
Were you aware that this was a rental house that we lived in?
I believe I'd heard that.
Okay. Were you aware that we had only lived there for about 3 weeks prior to this incident?
I knew it was a short time period, but I did not know the actual duration.
Okay. Interesting. Were you also aware that I clogged the toilet up with a massive dump after drinking an extremely strong espresso coffee? You weren't? Interesting. What are you talking about, ma'am?
Did you know that? You know that by the time you wrote this report, right?
I don't recall knowing the exact time frame that you had lived there.
Okay. So the defect in the floor of the rental house that we lived in could have already been there before this incident. Is that correct?
Not in my opinion, no.
But it could have.
An objection, Your Honor, asked and answered.
Sustained.
So of all the divots that we saw yesterday in the pictures on the floor, it could not have been there beforehand?
And again, asked and answered.
I'll let him answer. Go ahead.
The divots I believe you're referring to were extremely smaller than the actual defect, which was still relatively fresh and not sealed like the other divots were.
Okay, can we see? These were previously published, so I can use them, right?
Yeah.
Can we look
Just
at these?
refer to the exhibit number, please.
Okay. Just put it on. Detective, can you see that? I can't see that very well from there. So, in Exhibit 57, Detective,
I'm looking.
this, where my pin is pointing,
Yes, ma'am?
that's the defect that you're referring to where the bullet struck. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And these defects were already previously at the residence. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And do they look that much significantly different than that to you?
Yes, they do.
What do you think the measurement difference in that is, in your professional opinion?
There is no scale on this photograph. It would be difficult for me to give you an estimate.
So in your estimation, this defect is much larger than this defect. Is that correct?
The second defect you're pointing to appears to be wood grain indentations. The other is an actual defect in the board.
Okay. Thank you. But this defect, this piece of wood that was cut out, was not tested. Is that correct?
Again, asked and answered.
Technically correct, but I'll let him answer.
Correct. To my knowledge, it was
I apologize. I'm back, citizens.
not tested.
Thank you.
$820 in the chat. Let's get it to 1,000, y'all. Like, share, comment.
So do you know, Detective, for a fact, that the defect on my wood floor was caused by the second bullet?
And again, I'm going to object to asked and answered.
Sustained.
When we looked at the projectiles yesterday, the one from the baseboard clearly had white paint on it from the baseboard. Is that correct?
Baseboard or the drywall, perhaps.
Okay, but we all saw the white paint. Is that correct?
There was a white marking on it.
Yes, we all saw that, right? Yeah, Cindy over there in row 3, you were there. You were in the house, right? You saw the white paint. Cindy, put the Snicker bar down and answer the question. Ma'am, what are you talking about? You suck.
Was that tested for the white paint?
No, ma'am.
Why not?
Was it tested for the white? What do you mean? Did they test if the paint was white? Ma'am, the test is your eyeballs.
There was no decision made to have it tested.
Because it was logical that it was in the baseboard where the baseboard was painted white, right?
It was very clear that it had passed through your husband and lodged in the baseboard. And upon recovery, there was no deformation to it, indicating that it was a straight-on impact or relatively close so that it embedded itself into the baseboard.
Correct. So it wasn't tested because it really didn't need to be, in your opinion.
Correct.
Okay. That's fair.
Okay, I'll have your job for that, sir. Wait till I talk to Sheriff Drumstick
Next, we
about
looked at
this.
the projectile that, according to you, made the defect in my wood floor. Is that correct?
I don't understand your question. Next, we look at it, but I don't see anything.
Oh, we saw the projectile. Can I find out what exhibit that was?
Your paralegal has all those photographs.
Can we use the actual
Yeah,
exhibit?
she can approach and.
You know what? I don't understand why everybody has so many jokes and laughs to have and giggles to give. Why are you giving so many giggles? And you're calling this an outfit. It's not an outfit. It's uniform. First of all, it's uniform, professional uniform. I'm a man in uniform, and this is a uniform of respect and authority. So you will respect that authority. Understand me? Sheriff Drumstick, and you will address me as such, or you'll shut your ding dang mouth. You get your ventricles thrown in jail. You understand me? Order. I done knocked my headphones loose. Hang on. You know what? I'm gonna get online and order me a gavel to get order in this chat room court. This chat room court is out of control. And I tell you, I'm getting on Amazon. I'm getting on Amazon Prime to get an overnight delivery. I'm getting a gavel delivered to me ASAP so I can get some ding dang order in this court when y'all get out of line talking about what type of get up is JSP wears. Ma'am, it's a uniform. It's a uniform.
Okay.
You see the badge?
Are you looking for the actual projectile?
Yes.
They need to call me up there. Call me to the stand. I'll tell it like it. I'll tell you straight. I'll give it to you straight. I'll be dang Nephi. Let me hear it in the chat. I'll be dang Nephi. Type it. I'll be dang Nephi. I'll be ding dang Nephi. I'll give it to you straight, partner. Chuck Norris ain't got nothing on Sheriff Drumstick. You understand?
I believe it's a smaller.
Thank you. Now we're getting some respect going in the chat. Now we got this community in order. The citizens are following suit. Jumpsuit.
Do you want her to hand that to the witness?
It's about time.
Is that 239?
Guys, I've been talking to Ariel. I'm wondering if I should, so let's say I come a day behind everything, right? And let's say I watch like this right here. Let's say I watch it the day of, and then I come the next day and I get just the highlights, just the good points. I clip it all, narrow it down to like 35 minutes for y'all and give, you know, I give my Sheriff Drumstickiness about what we're seeing. Turn it into a video. What do y'all think? I mean, should I do that, or do we do these 6.5 hour torture sessions? I mean, what old Jador Melissa says, no, we want it all. Oh, well, all right, ma'am. I bet you eat things that one of the ingredients is jalapenos. And so the next morning when you take a dump, that jalapeno stings your rim and you enjoy that. That's the type, I assume that's the type of person you are when you say things like that. I'm just going to tell you, as Sheriff Drum, that's coming right there from, you can quote Sheriff Drumstick on that.
Detective, for the record, you're looking at Exhibit 239, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And is that the projectile that we are talking about that you claimed made the divot in my wood floor?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So was that projectile was not tested, is that correct?
Your Honor,
Is that what
I'm
you
going
said?
to object to asked and answered at least 3 times.
Sustained.
Does that projectile look pristine to you?
Look at Karen Casalospro. She says, condense it, JSP, condense it. Condensicus. Ma'am, you wish I condense it. I take lock her up right now under orders of Sheriff Drumstick. Lock her up, throw her in the slammer. Lock her up.
No, ma'am. As I've previously testified,
What's wrong with you?
it is slightly deformed.
I'm not power hungry. Lock her up.
What part about it is deformed?
The back end, the heel area is compressed a little bit so that it's now oval as opposed to
Hang on.
circular.
Bluebell says, the law never sleeps. Well, neither will you. Lock him up, throw him in the cell, and come by every 20 minutes and check on him and bang your little batons on the cell bars to wake. Don't let him sleep neither. The law never sleeps. Neither will you, sir. Lock him up under orders of Sheriff Drumstick.
And that would indicate what?
That would indicate that as the bullet struck something firm on its side, it compressed, and then it continued on moving.
Okay. So that's what you mean by a shored wound. It hit up against something. Is that correct?
The terminology as it's been described to me is it's the skin is against a firm surface. So in this particular case, the floor would be the firm surface. So as it's entering or exiting your husband and starting to try to enter the floor is forcing the bullet to kind of ricochet, but the body's still keeping it in place. So it's now deforming a little bit, and it's still expending its energy to escape from underneath the body.
Okay. And if my husband was in fact laying on the floor, how did it get out from under his body? Wouldn't it have gotten stuck under? That's my question.
Just what?
Could you explain that to me?
Ma'am,
Yeah, I think I
please.
just did. So the bullet
What's wrong
is
with
a full
you?
metal jacket. It still has its energy. Until it starts striking things to cause resistance to it, to slow it down, it's going to expend its energy at a normal rate. I think I just lost the mic. I'm not sure.
Nope, you got it, sir. You're just a doofus. Anyways, Sunshine Murphy, thank you for the $5 donation. She says, I vote cut it down to the clips with your commentary to an hour or two. Everyone who agrees, let's ask for a poll to determine the final results. What do y'all think? Yes or no? Should we do a poll, or do you just let's just do yes or no? Is that a good idea? Yes or no? Put it in the chat.
Okay. When it starts striking firm objects.
Because listen, my whole thing is I would love to do highlights, the best of each day. I mean, think about it, y'all. Do y'all really want to sit here for 6 hours and watch this crapicus? Do you want the highlights of each day? I would say yes. And then when it's sentencing day and verdict day, guilty or not guilty day, we'll do the full live stream. But other than that, we'll give you the highlights. What do y'all think? I mean, should we do that? Is that what we do here? Caitlin Boone says, no! Lock her up. Throw her in the slant.
It'll start bleeding the energy away. And in this particular case, as it's exiting your husband's body, it's impacting bone, it's impacting the flesh that's compressed against the floor, and it's impacting the floor now. So there is going to be a lot of resistance against that. Now, where it exited, it's still not free to just fly like the one that went through his chest and out the back. It's still semi-trapped between your husband's body and the floor, so that's going to cause even more energy drain until it comes to rest.
And how far away from my husband's shoulder?
Y'all, we got 930 in the chat. We're almost at 1,000. Let's keep it going. Like, comment, subscribe,
When it
share.
was found, I don't know the exact measurement away from it.
Pick it up
I
and
would
slam
say
it down.
a foot
Do
or
anything you
more,
can.
maybe.
Get it out to
Okay,
people.
so that's what you're talking about the energy. It still had energy to keep moving. Is that
Yes.
correct?
It had enough to escape from being under the body.
Okay. So because of what you saw at the scene, and you state in your report that it was your suspicion that that's what had happened, was that my husband was supine on the floor, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So was it your suspicion from the start of this investigation that led you to not confirm any other alternative?
What other alternative, ma'am? My job was to collect the information and put it together with the
Yeah, doofus.
information that was being collected in the interviews. The information from the interviews did not completely match everything that I had learned at the scene.
Okay, let's see. You did not test the wood floor, is that correct?
I'm going to object again.
So you don't know if it was oak or mahogany, is that correct?
You did not test the projectile, is that correct?
I'm going to again object to ask to.
So you don't know if it was a 44 or a 45, is that correct?
Striking every question.
Sustained.
You did not investigate my husband's shirt.
And object again.
So you don't know how sexy his shirt was.
Sustained.
Did you call Aloha Carolina and ask them about the fabric of my husband's shirt?
No, ma'am.
Okay.
Aloha, Carolina.
So really-
hang on. Aloha, Carolina. I guarantee you. Oh, hello. I guarantee you that's a clothing brand. Aloha, Carolina. Looks like a national park resort. Uh-oh. But I'm going to tell you what I do see here. Caraloha. And they offer bamboo bedding, bath, and clothing. Could that be what she's talking about? Because she's so hung up on the fact that his clothing was bamboo. But she got it wrong. Caraloha. Talking about Carolina. Ma'am, keep my state out of your mouth before I come down there and smack you with my hat. You kidding me?
That you made an assumption early on and only investigated the things that supported that assumption?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Remember in your report where you stated that the bullet strike to the abdomen had an upward trajectory, passing through the left lung before exiting near the left shoulder?
Yes.
Okay. Could that upward trajectory have been caused by my husband falling backwards and the bullet hitting the abdomen and going upwards and exiting his shoulder as he hit the floor?
950 in the chat. Y'all, we're almost at 1,000. Let's keep it going. Thank y'all. Love y'all. Appreciate y'all.
Detective Coons, on July 11th, 2019, were you at the Chandler Police Department during my interview?
Sheriff Drumsticks thanks you. Free bucket of chicken for every 1,000th viewer.
Were you there that morning when we were brought into the Chandler Police Department at all?
Here we go. Finally, a good, decent citizen. Michael N. sent $10 and says, thank you for your ding-dang service, Sheriff Drumstick. Well, thank you, good citizen. Finally, somebody who knows some freaking respect.
No, ma'am. I was at the scene.
Finally.
Okay.
Thank you.
I thought you didn't get to the scene until 11:45.
No, that was when we actually obtained the search warrant. It was about a little after 11:45. I was
Okay.
already at the scene shortly after 9 o'clock.
Okay. Did you see the injury on the back of Alex's head with your own eyes?
I did not take a close look at it. I saw the paper towel that he was holding against his head.
But you did not see the wound itself?
No.
Okay.
Well, now, sir, was that Bounty brand or Brawny brand? I tell you, that makes a big difference here in this case. It could crack it wide open. ShamWow.
Are you aware if Alex's hands were swabbed for gunshot residue?
There would have been no reason to swab for gunshot residue.
Why is that?
Because he said he did it.
Already stated that he was the shooter.
Oh, exactly. There you go.
To my knowledge, that's how the information was provided to me.
Okay.
Doofus. Okay. Yeah, a bitch. Well, I'm sorry. I didn't mean
Are
to say.
you
I shouldn't have
aware
said
if
that.
my
I
hands
shouldn't
were
have said
swabbed
that.
for gunshot residue?
Oh my
I am
Lord.
not.
They're going to take my rank. They're going to
Are
demote
you
me.
aware if my daughter's hands were swabbed
I'll
for
go back to
gunshot residue?
Deputy
I am not.
Drumstick. Oh Lord.
Do you know for a fact that Alex shot the gun in question?
1,000 in the chat. Thank y'all. Love y'all. Thank you
Based
so
on the
much for getting me
information
there.
Provided, that is what I have, yes.
Do you know that for a fact?
Just with the information that's been provided. I can't tell you one way or another if there's another shooter because the evidence does not show that there was.
Nope, they'll have my badge for that. They'll have my badge.
So all you really know for sure, after your 5 years of investigation, is that my husband was shot 2 times, 1 by that particular gun, 2 with those particular bullets, at my residence, and that he passed away as a result of that.
My
that be correct?
Lord.
Oversimplified, there is a lot more information that is available to us for that.
Is that correct? Is that question correct?
Ooh.
Those are some known facts, yes, but that is not all we know.
So you can't really tell me for sure who shot him, can you?
Well, as we've established, I was not present when it happened. I can only go with the facts of what people have said and what the evidence shows.
Okay. You don't really know what time he was shot, do you?
Actually, no, I don't.
Okay. You don't really know if he was falling back or lying supine on the floor, do you?
Yes, I do.
You don't really know what time my husband actually passed away, do you?
No, ma'am, I don't.
Thank you. No more questions.
Oh, she got him, y'all. She took him to
Your
school.
Honor, I still have stuff that she
You
gave.
can pass those to, let's have your paralegal get the report that you gave him, but I'll take Exhibit 239, is it? Do you need any of the photos? They're over there.
All right, y'all. I just put in a DoorDash order for KFC. I got a big old chicken box bucket family meal, and I got me an order of cherry pie poppers. Sheriff Drumstick loves him some cherry pie poppers.
Yes, thank you. All right, Detective, I know we started yesterday, so I'm going to kind of go back through a few different areas, all right?
Yes, ma'am.
No, I didn't forget the cake. Did you forget to come here on time? Tracy, did you forget the cake? No, ma'am, I did not forget the cake. Did you forget to get here on time? Did you forget to get here on time? Did you forget to get here on time? We've already discussed why the cake cannot happen until tomorrow. Therefore, it will happen tomorrow, not today. Do you understand me? Do you understand me? I call Tracy to the stand. Tracy to the stand. Sheriff Drumstick needs Tracy to the stand. You were supposed to get the chocolate cake. Rebecca, ma'am, you were supposed to get here on time. We already talked about the chocolate cake, and we understand why the chocolate cake ain't coming. Do you want me to call KFC and have them explain to you why I cannot physically, it's physically impossible to get chocolate cake from KFC today? Would you like me to call them and have them explain to the chat why I can't get chocolate cake today? Maurice was fired. Maurice was fired. I'll call him. I'll call him right now. Hang on. I'll take. Hang on. I'm going to have to change my voice because they'll recognize me. Hang on. I'm going to do a fake voice. Come on. They're busy making my order. But we're going to have to call him back in just a second. All right.
In terms of just understanding your role working with crime scene techs, you
They don't know my
testified
cell number.
yesterday that they are often the ones who actually pick up the item of evidence and put it in a bag, correct?
Frequently, yes.
They don't know. They don't know it's me.
Unless they do that?
Yes.
You're not just wandering around outside drinking a coffee while they're processing the house.
No, ma'am.
So every item that we've brought in is
The kiosk
something you
is
observed,
unplugged. I got to use the
you were there
bathroom.
as they were documented and collected.
Correct.
And some of them, like the gun, you actually had to make safe.
Listen,
before it
I
could
got to use the
be
bathroom. I'll
collected.
be right back. All
Actually,
right.
Detective Duncan is the one that made it safe, but I was present for those things.
Okay. You were asked about the backyard being searched. When you have other people searching the house, and I think you'd said it was a collaborative event, if someone observes something, do they bring it to your attention as the scene agent?
Yes, if I'm asking somebody to do a search for me to help out with a larger area, it is their responsibility to bring it forward to me if they discover something that they think is important.
And if they see something, you would then go out and observe it yourself?
Yes.
We had talked about the gun yesterday, the ejection port. See if this will be visible here. What do we see right here?
So that is the ejection port.
So when we're talking about how a semi-automatic gun works, and you were talking about the ejection to the right, is that in this gun indicated by the opening where that ejection port is, the side that it's on of the gun?
The opening is part of how it'll indicate where it ejects. Also the extractor, which is a small lever behind the ejection port.
You understand
is
me?
What grabs the casing to pull it out.
Sheriff
and
Drumstick.
internally there's going to be
That's your
an
service.
ejector it's usually a small pinpoint that kicks it, and the springs basically flip it out.
So all of that was what made you understand which way the casings would have ejected out of this gun.
Yes.
Now, you told us that that every gun can be slightly different if it's more upward, more outward, and you are unaware for this gun what that ejection would be like.
Correct.
I'm going to go back to your diagram. This is Exhibit 5.
Exhibit 5? My Lord.
Are you able to, by looking at the measurements that you took,
Hey y'all, we got a dasher. They're at the location waiting on my order. His name's Mark. Marcus.
give us an estimate
Marcus.
of the distance between those two
Thank you,
casings
Mark.
that you have listed here as 9 and 10?
My estimation would be a couple feet.
And I guess, did you take measurements of where those were?
I took measurements from the reference points to triangulate it.
1 second, y'all. 1 second.
Location clear?
Hey there, ma'am. I'm putting together a family-sized order to get delivered. I want some sweet treats added on there. I can't find the chocolate cake. Is there no chocolate cake?
We do have chocolate cakes.
Oh, you do have chocolate cakes?
Yeah, are you looking to do a pickup?
No, I want a delivery, and it's funny because I just called there about an hour ago, and someone told me that all they had were cherry pie poppers, and they didn't have cakes until tomorrow.
I think that we might be out of chocolate cakes right now.
Oh, well, that's not what you told me 5 seconds ago.
Well, I wasn't looking in the freezer.
Oh, but you sounded real confident when you told me you had chocolate cake. Now you're not looking in the freezer.
Why are you acting like I'm lying to you? I'm not lying to you. I just didn't check.
Well, now let's be real. Technically, you told me a lie by telling me you had chocolate cake, and now you're saying you don't have
No, I
chocolate
told you
cake.
we sold chocolate cake.
What was that?
I told you we sold chocolate cake.
No, ma'am. You said you had chocolate cake.
Okay, well,
Ma'am, this is Sheriff Drumstick. You're under arrest for lying. Under arrest. You're under arrest. She hung up on me. You're under arrest. She lied to me. She lied to me. No, y'all heard. Hey, y'all heard her. She said they had chocolate cake. She said they had chocolate cake. She's got a warrant out for her arrest. I tell you what, she's got a warrant out for her arrest. It's a felony. Felony to lie to Sheriff Drumstick. It's a felony. They're going to spit in my cherry poppers, ain't they? Y'all heard? No, I need someone in the chat to verify. They heard her. She said they have the chocolate cake. I'm telling Maurice. Oh. Y'all heard her. She said they have chocolate cake, and then she switched up. They're gatekeeping the cake. They're not selling to normal citizens. They're not.
But I did not measure distance between each object to the other objects.
So the measurements that we see, I'm going to take it out of here. On the second page of your report,
My
are
gosh.
those triangulations
Crap.
that you're talking about?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So are we able to extrapolate from this any distance between those two, or we are left with what you recall at this point?
You're left with what I recall, but I also...
She's got a warrant out for her arrest.
Reference line or dimension line. It's near the north-south indicator, and that helps.
I tell you what.
Somebody who's looking at it.
All this is, chat, is big cake not wanting to support the boys in blue. This is big cake taking a stand against the thin blue line. Sheriff Drumstick. Big cake wanting to bring down the working man. Big cake not supporting the community. Big cake, for goodness sake. It's big cake, y'all. This is going on in all y'all's communities, and you better get active about it.
Get an idea of what a measurement might be.
Big cake in the chat.
Diagram.
Big cake.
And is that
Cake gate.
this line up here?
Correct.
Okay. There was a lot of questions about where the shooter might have been at the time when this shooting occurred. Start with 19 while I look for a different perspective, but in this house you have talked about a rounded wall. Can you tell us where you're talking about for that? And I'm going to put up 14. So on 14, what is this rounded wall that you're talking about when you're referring to the location or potential location, let me say the general location of the shooter?
So the rounded wall is at the south end of the main room that we're in, where the body's at. And it's also directly across from the hallway that runs to the 3 bedrooms and the hall bathroom.
So is that this wall that we see in Exhibit 14 right here?
That's correct.
Okay. Now, when we are talking about a gun being fired and casings ejecting, as someone who has fired guns before, have you fired them on where the casings are landing on a hard surface?
Yes,
Do casings bounce and roll?
they do.
So is the
Interesting.
location of these casings, do they tell us exactly where they initially landed when they ejected?
No.
This is just where they ended up or stopped?
Guys, I still have a big bucket of
They could've
chicken
been kicked at some
and
point
cherry
as well.
poppers coming from
Yes.
KFC. It's headed to me right now. It's on the way. We're going to do a review live. Stay tuned. And I will call them and complain if I'm not satisfied.
At this scene, are
We'll
you
issue a
relying
warrant for all their
upon
arrests.
Physical items of evidence to reach your opinion?
They would be some of it, yes.
And then are you relying on
What are
your
cherry
training and
poppers? You
experience
about to find
in
out,
conjunction
sister.
with observing the physical evidence as well as the injuries to Charles?
That would also be good pieces of the puzzle.
And are you able to give us the exact location of this shooter?
No, ma'am.
Are you giving us a general area of the shooter?
Yes, ma'am.
And for the shot that goes through Charles's chest and out his back, where is the general area that you are saying the shooter was located?
The shooter would have been located somewhere in the opening to where the kitchen and the hallway is, in close proximity to the rounded corner as well.
Okay, I put up Exhibit 16 here. So somewhere in this area?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now, you were asked a lot about the autopsy report and stippling. You were provided with a copy of it by the defendant, correct?
It was never provided to me.
You weren't allowed to look at a copy of it?
The report that she gave me was my report from the channel report system, not the medical examiner.
Have you ever looked at the autopsy report?
I have.
Did
Hang on, we got an inside scoop. Allie B from Tennessee, bio me. Goodness we. She says, spicy testimony coming up. Prepare yourself. Lori, oh, I got to scroll up. Lori turns into the biggest hypocrite ever very fast. Next witness, get your snacks ready. And it's very sad too. Well, ma'am, my snacks are on the way. Cherry poppers and a big old bucket of chicken.
you, in regards to the injury to Charles's chest, the entrance wound, ever see the word stippling used there?
No, it was not in the report.
When you were reading that, did you
Pablo, what's up with the Kid Rock outfit? Are you kidding me? Shut. Do you want to get arrested? Do you want to get a warrant issued? You will address me as Sheriff Drumstick and nothing else, or you will go to jail. You understand?
interpret the way that
I already got to arrest the entire staff at KFC.
abrasions related to the actual entrance wound of the gunshot?
That's how I interpreted it.
Does that mean that Dr. Baumgardner didn't mean stippling?
I don't know medical jargon so well, so
Medical
he could have
jargon.
very well meant it.
He's
with
a
how he wrote
sniper,
it,
ma'am.
but to me, it did not come across that way.
Okay. And when you were at the autopsy, you don't recall him ever telling you about the stippling?
Not in that word, no.
But you were there at the autopsy, correct?
Yes, I was.
Are you in the room with him, like right there next to him?
No, we are actually mandated to stay in the, I guess,
Miss Rhonda Leach says, you can arrest me. Yup. Yup. Rhonda, let me tell you something, honey. Better watch yourself before I hold you in contempt. Put you on surveillance. Watch it, Rhonda. Rhonda.
It's the viewing area of that particular
Rhonda!
location.
There's a window between you and he's in a different room.
Yes.
So you also were asked about Dr. Bumgardner saying...
Whoa! Jay Maple says, I'm not sure I'd trust chocolate cake from KFC. It's almost guaranteed you'll shit your long johns. Hey, brother, have you shit yours? Well, shit my foul language. Lock him up. Lock him up. Lock him up.
What you've now been told is stippling around that gunshot wound to the chest, that the shooter or the gun being used could have been 2 to 4 or so feet away. Do you recall being told that?
Yes, I do.
All right. I have a little thing here, 24 inches. So 2 feet is 24 inches?
Yes, ma'am.
And I don't know if I can approach or if I have to have my...
Go ahead.
Thank you. So when we're talking about 2 feet, saying from the wound on his chest.
The indicator would be from the muzzle to the chest.
So that distance is 2 feet.
Yes.
Understanding
Waiting on my chicken to show up.
that additional information that the defendant provided you, that Dr. Bumgardner advised during a defense interview, does that alter your opinion in any way as to where the shooter would have been, the general location of the shooter for this shot to his chest?
No, it actually makes sense with the completed trajectory that ended up in the baseboard.
So those being 2 feet away from Charles Vallow when the end of the gun to his chest did not seem so far away that, or so close that it didn't fit in with your opinion.
Yeah, 2 to 4 feet would be certainly consistent with what I saw.
So he's 2 to 4 feet away from him in this area.
Away from that area, yes.
I'm going to talk to you a little bit about the floor itself that you observed underneath Charles's shoulder after he was removed, okay? I'm putting up Exhibit 244. That's the actual piece of wood. And Your Honor, can I actually publish this to the jury and have them
Yes.
look at it? Thank you. I can have just all of them look at that, and then I'll ask a couple questions.
He looks so happy to be on that stand, I tell you what. Are you sure you don't want to ask me anything else about sniping? Sir, how about you snipe a piece of cherry cake, a chocolate cake, and send it to me? Sheriff Drumstick. Before I arrest you. Cake gate. Big Bamboo don't want you to hear this trial, y'all. Big Bamboo. Big Boo. Big Boo don't want you to hear the truth. JSP, what are cherry poppers? Sounds interesting. Well, ma'am, I tell you, things are about to get real interesting here in about 5-10 minutes because we're going to have them live here in the flesh on camera, 4K HD 1080p, baby, and we're going to bite into them. And if they're not good, we're going to call KFC and we're going to complain. And we're going to issue a warrant for whoever made them. Sheriff Drumstick. Look at, hang on. Look at, look at Melanie Copeland. I'm assuming they are similar tasting to cherry pie. Melanie, with all due respect, shut your mouth. You don't know what the hell you're talking about. We're talking about cherry poppers. Totally different thing. Arrest her, lock her up, throw her in the slammer. What's wrong with you? I called top cherry pie expert Melanie to the stand. Ma'am, let me tell you something.
So, Detective,
So, Melanie,
in looking at the floor itself, you told us that you looked through the whole floor in that room to see if you found any similar types of defects, correct?
Correct.
Did you find other defects on the floor, just period?
There are other imperfections.
You had testified on cross that there was something.
somebody just said fast forward to Lori. I don't know if I can. We can see if I can. And then if I can't, oh, there's a new witness. So that's the redirect, I'm guessing. Oh, so we got a new witness. Let's see, can we go to, oh, there's Lori. I can tell by her curls. Do we fast forward to Lori with a new witness? Look at Barbara. You gonna love it. Barbara, arrest her. How dare you tell Sheriff Drumstick what he will or will not like. Arrest her. Throw her in the slammer.
That's right about when I went out with him. And so I went to my phone and thought I probably
Nancy
had
Joe
deleted
Hancock.
text conversations.
My
I'm
Lord.
not dating someone and I text, I usually delete the thread, but I had not. And I had the conversations, and then I realized that I was with him until 10:45 that night and that he died at 7:30-ish the next morning.
And did you later then talk with the police in April of 2020 to tell them what you knew about this case?
I did.
Thank you. The state has no other questions.
Cross.
Nancy Joe, right?
Correct.
Uh-oh.
And we have not met before,
We have
correct?
not?
Okay. And you stated that your husband, or my husband, told you.
Someone in the chat says this woman dated Charles. Everyone's saying start from the beginning with this witness. Fine. Fine. I'll just eat my cherry poppers. Y'all can watch.
State calls Nancy Joe Hancock.
All right, come on up. You're going to stand right here and be sworn in. All right, you're going to come.
User Sarcasm says she had dates. She dated him shortly and thought he ghosted her for months until she saw on the news about his murder. Wow.
Around the court reporter, have a seat up here to my left.
Interesting.
Can you please introduce yourself to the jury?
Hi, my name's Nancy Jo Hancock.
And do you go by Nancy Jo?
I do.
How old are you?
61.
And
Whoa!
do you currently work?
Now listen here. With all due respect to my girlfriend, that's a lovely young 60-something. Are you kidding me? 61? Ma'am, I need your beauty secrets. I need you to make a TikTok right now and give us your skin care. I need some get ready with me's. I need some get ready with me's.
I'm self-employed.
Get ready with me, featuring
live here in
Sheriff
Arizona?
Drumstick.
Yes.
Who would watch?
Were you born and raised here?
Born and raised here.
Do you have your own children?
5.
Do you have grandchildren?
15.
Busy person.
15 grandchildren.
I'm going to direct you to a person by the
15
name
because-
of Charles Vallow. Did you ever meet a person by that name?
I did.
How did you meet him?
I'm divorced. I was on an LDS dating site, and when new members join, it tells you this is someone new. And he sent me a message, and we began messaging.
Initially, did you just talk to him through, do you talk through the website?
Oh my
How does
gosh,
that
the
work?
KFC guy's
He
in my
went through
neighborhood.
the website at first. And
He's
then
in my
he asked for
neighborhood.
phone number, and then we were texting and talking on the phone as well.
Do you recall approximately when you met him?
It was early July, I believe the 3rd.
And so you said you guys would text. Was this,
A lot.
what's a lot to you?
Charles was a texter and a talker, and he was good at banter, and there were hundreds of texts by the time I had met him.
You said you talked on the phone with him as well?
For hours.
Did you have a conversation with him once that lasted almost 3 hours?
Probably more than one, yes.
When you met Charles in early July, did you know he was still married?
He told me he was in the process of a divorce.
Okay. Did you know whether or not he was living with his wife at that time?
He was in Houston. His soon-to-be ex-wife was here. When he came to Arizona, he was meeting a
can't
realtor
wait.
to find a place to live. When he
Chicken.
was here as well.
So when you're first meeting him, he's out of state, but he has a connection here to Arizona, so you keep talking to him?
Correct.
As you guys are talking and texting, did you eventually have enough interest that you decided you wanted to meet him?
Yeah.
Did you know what Charles did for a living?
Life insurance is something with money. I try not to have that be the focus when I'm getting to know somebody, so that I get to know them for them and not what they do for a living.
Okay, so you didn't really care too much about.
Pardon
what
me,
his job was.
citizens.
Did you know he traveled a lot for work?
Yes.
Official boys in blue duty to attend to.
As you and Charles are talking and texting, just sort of yes or no, can you tell us, did he get very detailed about his life with you?
Yes.
Did you know if Charles had children?
Yes.
Just yes or no again, did you talk to him about his wife specifically?
A lot.
Did he mention his wife by name?
Yes.
What did you believe his wife's name was?
Lori Vallow.
have you ever met Lori Vallow?
No.
Again, just sort of yes or no. Did Charles talk to you about
Your Honor.
why?
Objection. Leading. Objection.
I haven't heard the question yet. Go ahead.
So just yes or no. Did Charles talk to you about why he
Leading
was
is yes or no.
No, leading is a question that suggests the answer, so she can answer yes or no.
So again, just yes or no. Did Charles talk to you about why he was separated from his wife?
Yes.
Based upon your discussions, how long did you think there had been issues going on between Charles and his wife?
For several months, but more intensely since the beginning of that
All
year
right.
was 2019.
We got it.
So since the beginning of that year.
Okay.
You told us that Charles talked to you let me ask you, yes or no, did he talk to you in great detail about his relationship with Lori Vallow?
Yes.
You told us you met on an LDS dating site, right?
Correct.
So are you a member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints?
I am.
Chicken. Poppers. Hang on, y'all. My Lord. I think I pulled something. Look. These are cherry poppers. Cherry pie poppers. Looks like Mark took a couple out. Got hungry on the way here, Mark. Piece of crap. Let's open up this box. Chicken, baby. Woo! That's good. Oh boy, that's good. That's good stuff. That's good stuff. Oh wow. Oh, great stuff. Tastes like justice. Oh yeah. Let's try a cherry popper, huh? Oh my. Look at that. Ooh, cherry with a little bit of, ooh, what is that stuff? Meth? Oh. I tell you what, I owe somebody an apology. I owe somebody an apology.
Yeah, see, where am I happy?
Yes, ma'am. Listen, I wanted to give my apologies. I called here earlier. I was upset because y'all didn't offer a chocolate chip cake, but I did get the cherry poppers, and my mind is blown. And I give my hats off to the chef, and they are exquisite. So I do give my apologies. I'm a very satisfied customer.
Thank you so much.
Yes, ma'am. Have a good one.
Bye-bye.
Bye. So we went ahead and made things right over here on Jumpsuit Pablo. I'll have another. My goodness. My goodness. It don't get no better than that, folks. Yes, yes. All right. Woo! Let's get back to the trial.
Was there anything that you were hearing that you thought were outside of your beliefs?
A lot of things.
As Charles was telling you these things about his wife, can you tell us his demeanor? What his voice was like, what his attitude was like as he's talking about that?
I just remember thinking that he was strangely calm and still kind towards Lori, even through what they were going through.
You told us you were aware he had a child. Did you know where that child lived, who the child lived with?
Yes,
Who was that?
he was living with Lori at that time.
You have
He had
this-
older children as well, but the young one was living with Lori.
You have these conversations with Charles about his wife and these things that to you seem outside the LDS religion. Why do you keep talking to him?
Well, he was very charming and kind and funny and very clever, really good banter. A lot of craziness going on around him, but he seemed pretty awesome.
Now, you guys had just known each other for a few days. Did you think you and Charles were exclusive?
Heavens no.
So would you be surprised to learn that he was talking to other people on other websites?
Not at all.
Did he in fact share some of that with you?
He did. He shared some pictures of some woman that had sent him that were quite scanty, and then proceeded to ask him for money, and thought how funny that was, that that's what people were doing online.
Did you eventually meet Charles in person?
I did.
And how many times did you get to meet him in person?
Just once.
What day was that?
He was flying in from Houston, and we had arranged to go to dinner that night. His plane was delayed, and so I met him that night on the 10th of July.
July 10th, was that 2019?
Correct.
And was that then here in Arizona that you met?
It was.
You said that you had original plans to meet and they got pushed back?
Yeah, his plane was delayed, so we met a little later than we were supposed to.
Where did you guys meet? What did you do?
At the Keg restaurant by Santan Mall, and we ate, but we talked until the restaurant closed. We were the last people there.
So you shut the place down?
We did. I finally looked around and I realized that we were the only ones there, and told them we probably should leave. And then we went outside and talked by my truck for another 45 minutes or so.
Based upon everything you had heard, was Charles coming in to see you, or was there some other reason he was in Arizona?
Charles was ecstatic to see JJ. He was coming to see JJ, so excited to take him to school the next morning. He was also coming to look for a place to live. He had an appointment to meet a realtor friend after he had taken JJ to school. And then he was also supposed to meet with Lori's brother, Adam.
So you and Charles had this evening on the 10th. Were you going to meet again?
Yeah, we were supposed to meet up in the late afternoon after he got through with the things that I just said.
So did you have a set time for the next
No.
day? Can you describe Charles? Was he a fit man? What was his size?
Very fit, and into physical fitness. And while we were talking, I know that he was swimming. I got to go to the gym, and yeah, very, very fit, strong.
When you were talking with Charles on July 10th, that evening, let me ask first, do you recall about what time you ended up meeting him?
It was around 7. I got there first, and but it was right around 7, between 7 and 7:15, I'd say.
And do you recall about how long you guys were together until you finally
Well, the
left?
restaurant closed at 10, and they were closed, and no one else was there. So it was after that we left, and then, like I said, we stood by my truck and talked for another half hour, 45 minutes after that.
So a later evening.
Yes.
Can you tell us, you said that you understood he was going to go see his son. What was his demeanor about with regards to JJ and seeing his son?
Like a kid on Christmas morning, he was very excited to see JJ.
You had talked about his demeanor when he would talk about his wife. On that evening or ever, did you ever hear him swear or use derogatory names or anything like that towards Lori Vallow?
I was surprised with the details that he was describing to me, how kindly he still spoke about Lori, and his hope was that she would be a great mom for JJ.
Did that stand out to you?
A lot.
Why?
Most men that you date are not nearly so kind about their ex and describe them in more derogatory ways and don't speak so kindly. And I remember just thinking how odd, in a good way, it was that he was not speaking in a derogatory way about Lori.
So that made an impression on you.
It did.
During any of your conversations with Charles, did you ever learn that he had a life insurance policy?
I did.
As you are talking, did Charles really just tell you a lot about his life?
A lot about his life, yes.
Were you almost surprised at the amount of detail of his life that you learned?
Yeah.
Did you understand whether or not any changes had been made by Charles to the life insurance policy?
He told me that he had changed his beneficiary to his sister, Kay, and as he was proceeding to tell me some of the things that were going on, I suggested to him that maybe he should let Lori know that he had changed the beneficiary on his life insurance to Kay.
Why would you tell him that?
Hey, sweetheart. I can take you away from all this, right? Give you a better life. Yeah.
Because of the things that he was describing to me and his concerns for his safety and the thought that money would come into play.
Do you recall where you were when you made that suggestion to Charles?
We were sitting at dinner at the keg.
So this is on July 10th.
Correct.
What was his demeanor like when you told him that?
He kind of chuckled and said that he probably should. Said that was a good idea.
You told us that you don't know Lori Vallow, correct?
I do not.
Would it be fair to say that you sort of have no beef in this case?
I have no beef in this case.
Do you know any of Charles's family back then?
No.
Any of Lori Vallow's family back then?
No.
When you, left Charles after talking in the parking lot that evening, you told us that you had sort of unformalized plans to see Charles the next day.
Correct.
Was there like someone would call someone, or how was that supposed to go?
He just said that he needed to do the things that I said, have a morning with JJ, find a place to live, meet up with Lori's brother Adam, and, then we would meet up somewhere for a late lunch or something.
Did you ever try to reach him on July 11th of 2018?
I did.
Did you try texting him ever?
Around 11-ish in the morning, I texted him and asked how his morning with JJ had been.
Did you get a response back?
I did not.
Did you try calling him?
A couple hours later, I called once, yes.
Did you get a call back?
I did not.
What were you thinking when you didn't hear from Charles after you spent this night?
I was puzzled how I had misread what I had thought been a good date so wrong, that he would not even take the courtesy to reply. Wondered why, but just figured that was what his decision was.
So on July 11th, when you're not hearing back from Charles, did you know that he had been shot and killed?
No.
Did you later learn that Charles had been killed from seeing something on TV?
I was watching TV in December, I believe, and his picture came on the screen, and it said that he was dead.
When you learned that in December, that he had been killed,
Thank you, Christina Rosalie, for the $10 donation. Thank you very much.
did you learn when that had happened? Did you try to investigate?
I did. They said the date, and I thought, oh my gosh, that's right about when I went out with him. And so I went to my phone and thought I probably had deleted our text conversations. If I'm not dating someone I text, I usually delete the thread, but I had not. And I had the conversations, and then I realized that I was with him until 10:45 that night, and that he died at 7:30-ish the next morning.
I will give my final conclusion. I don't understand the KFC hate. The chicken is juicy. The fries are crispy. The biscuit is buttery. The cherry poppers are poppable and cherryful. I don't understand the KFC hate. I will say it now.
And did you later then talk with the police in April of 2020 to tell them what you knew about this case?
I did.
Thank you. The state has no other questions.
Cross?
Here we go.
Nancy Joe, right?
Watch out, y'all. Cover your nether regions. The vapor has entered the pit.
Correct.
And we have not met before,
We have
correct?
not.
Okay. And you stated that your husband, or my husband, told you that he was going
Whoa!
through a divorce. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And did you have any way to verify that?
No, I didn't try to verify that.
Okay. So did it surprise you later to find out that we were not in the process of a divorce?
Charles was in the process of a divorce.
He was not in the process of a divorce. Did it surprise you to find that out? You've seen it all on TV where we're not getting divorced.
Okay.
Oh, she hit her with her own catchphrase. Okay. Okay. Oh, the reversicus.
On the website that you met him, did he say he was divorced?
I'm not certain.
Yeah, I don't think
Would
that's
you
a
have
big
gone on a date
attribute
with
you
him
want
if
to
he would've said he
advertise
was
on a
married?
dating site.
If I would have realized how married he still was, maybe not. But I just met for dinner. I wasn't sleeping with him or anything.
Do you go on dates with married men? Naturally?
Ma'am, do you bleach your hair not naturally?
Object under 611 for
What's wrong with you?
All right, I'll sustain the objection.
You wearing Ulysses S. Grant's trench coat.
This witness for what she has already testified to?
You can cross-examine her about what she's testified to.
So you did go on a date with a married man,
I went on a date with Charles.
but you did not know he was married.
I knew his divorce was not final.
His divorce was not started.
Okay.
Okay, well, that means separated, ma'am. There's a difference. You're separated but not divorced. That means you're in the
So
beginning
in the text
stages of
messages,
divorce. That's fine. That's
You asked
fine.
Charles if he was a good kisser. Is that correct?
Maybe, sure.
Did he answer that text message?
I'm
gonna
sure.
object to
I'm sure he did.
relevance. Again, 611 harassment.
I'll sustain the objection.
Harassicus.
And hearsay.
Here, sick.
So are you trying to tell me and this jury that you went on one date with my husband and he told you all the details of our lives?
I'm telling you the truth, and that's what I know.
So you spent your whole date getting to know each other, talking about me.
Don't flatter yourself. No, we did not spend the whole time talking about you.
You knew a lot.
Hey, man, don't flatter your ding dangs. What's wrong with you? Oh, I love Nancy Joe. Nancy Joe. Hit it with the bing bop bow. Don't flatter yourself, sister. Flatticus. Woo! Oh, my Lord. Ma'am. Look. Ooh. That's better than a slice of KFC chocolate cake from Maurice himself, I tell you what.
A lot about me,
Oh,
right?
I knew what I've testified to.
What else did you talk about on your date?
Lots of things.
Like what, for instance?
none of your business.
Kids, the church, lots of things.
Okay.
How you believe in
Did he
zombies?
tell you about anything about our other 4 children?
Yes,
So you knew that we did have 5 children as well?
I did.
Okay. Did he talk to you about my daughter Tylee?
He did.
Did he talk about his relationship with her?
I don't recall that.
Did he talk about the contention in his relationship with my daughter Tylee?
I don't recall that.
I'm sure you don't.
And you know what's crazy? This woman right here, this queen is 61 years old and looks 5 times better than Lori Bleachicus Daybell. Get her, sister. I'm rooting for you.
And I'm going to object to comments by the defendant made after questions testifying.
We'll sustain the objection.
On your date, you talked about my husband was a life insurance salesman. Is that correct?
I knew he did something with money and insurance, but I really didn't know the details of what he did for work. Like I said, I don't ask the details about what someone does for work when I'm trying to get to know someone.
But you knew that he sold life insurance. You stated that.
I believe that I had a vague understanding that he did something with insurance.
And then he brought that up again at dinner.
No, we didn't talk about his work at dinner.
How do you
I
know
thought
what
said
got
you
brought up
did
at
talk
dinner?
about- correct me if I'm wrong. You said you did talk about that he changed the life insurance policy at dinner.
Well, you were asking me if we talked about that he sold insurance, which that didn't happen. But yes, he did tell me that he changed the beneficiary of his life insurance policy at dinner.
Did he tell you how much his life insurance policy was for?
Yes, he did.
What did he say?
$1 million.
Did he tell you how much my life insurance policy was for?
I do not recall.
You don't recall?
We didn't talk about you very much.
Ain't that what she said?
Vein.
When did you talk to him about me very much then? If it wasn't at dinner, was it in your text messages?
Oh, my Lord.
We were talking about what he was going through in the process of separating from you, not about what your life insurance policy was worth. And we talked about you on the phone.
Brother,
and
who goes
when
on
I
a
say
first
you,
date and talks about
mean
Lori
what he was
Dingbell?
doing as he was going through this separation.
Come on.
So let me understand. You were dating some different men on this website, right? From the websites.
Sure.
She can't even form English sentences. She said, "Let me understand. You were dating some men on this website, on these websites, ma'am. Mind your commas, periods, and apostrophe s's. What's s apostrophes? What's wrong with you? Good Lord, Nancy Joe, get her."
Would you say it was common for men to be talking so much about their supposed ex-wives during their conversations with a potential?
It's actually very common.
Yeah, I mean the dating pool ain't worth a ding dang damn these days. So yeah, probably.
Your Honor, I'm going to object to the defendant making comments after her questions.
I'm sorry, Your Honor, I won't do that again.
All right, please stop.
I'll just ask the
Yeah,
question.
but the vapor.
So there were some text messages between you and my husband after the dinner on July 10th, is that correct?
Correct.
What time would those text messages have occurred?
After dinner.
What time?
You think somebody who would? I don't even remember what time I had
10:45
breakfast
to what?
yesterday.
I'm not certain, ma'am. After dinner.
10:45 to midnight, maybe?
I just told you I don't know.
Ooh, we're gonna hire her on the force.
Maybe.
What did you discuss in those text messages?
And I'm going to object to relevance again. If there's a specific area.
We're gonna hire Nancy Joe on the force, Lieutenant Joe.
You testified a minute ago that Charles told you a lot of things about his wife. You didn't say ex-wife, but you said wife. Is that correct?
Okay, sure.
What were a lot of things?
The things that I've testified to.
Can you be more specific?
Am I allowed to do a narrative then?
Let's go on sidebar.
Oh, come on, Judge. You know she's full of crap. Put your headsets on, people. Oh my gosh, she's just, you know the jury hates her. Nancy Joe, we stand with you, Nancy. We're behind you, Nancy. I want you to know we love you, Nancy Joe. Nanticus. I got ants in my pants from Miss Nance. Ant emojis in the chat if you got ants in your pants from Miss Nance. We all love Miss Nancy Joe. I see a lot of ants in the chat, y'all. You stay true to yourself, Miss Nancy. Y'all, I can confirm the cherry pie poppers at KFC are delectable. That is an unbiased opinion. Delectable.
This witness shouldn't take too much longer. I'll have the jury wait for a few minutes. We'll see if we can finish this witness as we go into the lunch hour. But I'll excuse the jury for just a few minutes because we're having technical difficulty with the court reporter being.
Get it together, Judge. You got a lot of fangirls in the chat. Don't screw your words up, brother. Oh, you going to lunch?
All right. Please be seated. The jury is no longer present.
Chrissy Ann says,
The last
leave the
question
judge
that's been
alone,
asked of the
JSP.
witness was along the lines
Excuse
of,
me, ma'am.
What things did you discuss about
You're under
me,
arrest.
meaning the defendant? Is that correct?
That's what
Yes.
I recall, Your Honor.
Are you sure you wanted to answer that question? Because you're opening up a really big door. If you want her to answer the question, I'll have her answer the question.
How am I supposed to know what a lot of things are?
I don't know. Maybe go to law
If you want her to
school.
answer the question and there's no objection.
Get a degree.
We'll
No
bring the
objection.
jury back in and have her answer the question.
Objection.
All right.
Objection. Nephi. Nephi objects. My name is Loricus. What did they say her middle name was? Nadine? What was what's her middle name? Lori, Nadine, something with an N. Nincompoop. Nephi Fofum. What was Lori's middle name? Noreen. Noreen Daybell. Never in my 17 years of being a sheriff have I known such a dastardly woman. We can see if we can fast forward, but I don't know if it'll catch us up. But again, I said I'm going about 2.5, maybe 3 hours max here, y'all. We're right at 2 hours, I believe. We can fast forward, though. Let's see what we can do here.
Into
Who's this guy?
testifying by being
Hey!
her own lawyer.
Oh, my Lord, that's Geraldo Geraldo. No, that ain't him. Never mind. That's Nathaniel McDaniel.
This is one of the problems of
Hang on,
representing
look.
yourself. She's given an opening. She's standing up and
Let's look
Nope.
now at Trina Kay.
They're still not back, y'all. They're still not back. Y'all let me know when they're back. They're still not back, y'all. That ain't Geraldo Rivera. That's Nathaniel Panera. Lindy Lou 99 says, I'm loving that Texas outfit. Ma'am, this ain't no Texas. This is a sheriff's uniform. You understand me? You see this badge? Do you see this badge? My Lord. My Lori. This is a sheriff's badge. You better hold on to your boot buckles. Thank you for the $2 donation, West Virginia Mountain Mama. She says, Sheriff, you didn't share with your kitties. My kitties don't get cherry poppers or processed chicken. Okay, my kittens get freshly caught tuna from the creeks and rivers of the Carolinas. You understand? Lock her up. Throw her in the brig. Throw her in the slammer. No trial. Conviction. Anybody else want to get sassy? And I tell you, I got a right mind to get on Amazon and order me up a gavel, a black robe, and a powdered wig for next week. Because it won't get here by tomorrow, and they don't do court on Fridays. Monday morning, I got half a mind to get my judge jumpsuit, Judge Jumbo Chicken Bucket, Judge Jambalaya. and get my gavel slamming on this desk. And y'all don't want, I'll tell you, y'all don't want that. I'll have everyone in this chat locked up by the end of it. By the end of it. We'll be butting heads like two rams on a range fighting over two pieces of chewed up bubble gum. You understand? Because I tell you, you want to tussle, you want to lock horns with Sheriff Drumstick. Well, I tell you right now, that's more dangerous than a knife fight with Freddy Krueger in a phone booth. You understand me? You understand Sheriff Jumpsuit? All right now. And you about to tick me off, and you wouldn't like me when I'm mad, and I get more angry than a wet cat in a dog pound. And when I lock my jaws onto you, you're gonna be lost. You're gonna be more lost than a fart in a fan factory. You understand? You're gonna be more lost than a fart in a fan factory. Are you picking up what I'm laying down? Are you comprehending my sheriff jargon? All right now. Somebody said I got my badge from Toys R Us. I tell you, you'll be locked up, R Us. Excuse me. We the people will convict you. This ain't a toy badge. This is real. It's the real deal. Got an American flag on my shirt. That shirt looks very flammable. Let me tell you something, son. You about to light me a fire. Go ahead and light me on fire then. You won't like it. You're going to have to get your butt, scoot your boots on out the kitchen if you light me a fire, son. I am the American badass. Need me a bag of sunflower seeds. Barbecue ranch. David's brand. Now, let's see if they're back in court.
Prosecutor on this case.
My Lord, they're still running their yappers. I don't know when this court system got so sissified, but they just take recesses and break. Did you hear the judge yesterday? We're going to take a stretch break. What's next, Pilates? My Lord. What are we going to do? My Lord. We going to take a Pilates break? Let's get justice enacted. Ain't no recess on justice. In Sheriff Drumstick's court, we'll eat you off the bone. You hear me? Well, we all gonna go get guava mango smoothies before the cross-examination takes place. Ain't no recess, ain't no stretch breaks for justice in Sheriff Jumpsuit's court of law. As I like to say in my courtroom, you get a main course of justice and law with a side of slaw, as in coleslaw. Kathy Darling, she says, are your kiddies deputies? Ma'am. They're more than deputies. They're sheriff's deputies. You must be a yuppie. How can you be a sheriff and a judge? Because this is my town. This is my kiosk. This is a one-horse town. Over there eating your guava, avocado, salads, and shrubbery. seasoned ciabatta croutons and chickpeas. Grill yourself a burger on a slab of charcoal, and then come talk to me about justice. Let's get back to this court case, y'all. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. All right, Rich, it's been so fun hanging out with you. I hope we can do it again sometime. And everybody, it's been fun hanging out with you too, but we're on that 30
Oh, it's been a hoot. Get the
minute delay, and court will be caught up very, very soon to go refill your snacks. Go get some more water. Joyce was talking about
KFC
wine yesterday. I have nothing to do with that. So everybody, go do what you need to do and then get right back here to the live stream. Rich, again, it was great hanging out with you. Everybody, it was great hanging out with you too.
Oh, yeah, we get it. You had fun hanging out, ma'am. But let me tell you something. When justice, real justice, takes place, the only hanging out these criminals are going to do are with the rats, mice, spiders, cockroaches, and fruit flies that are in their jail cells. That's the only hanging out that's going to happen. I don't know how they do things down there in Tudor Town, little missy. My Lord. Talking about go refill your snacks. I just ate a bunch of chicken. Ooh, boy, it's hitting me. Justice. Objection. 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 We're back. We're back in the court.
Cross, was there something before we bring the jury in?
Nothing from the state.
All right, we'll bring the jury in.
My Lord, bring the jury in. Oh, my Lord. Oh, I'm not letting y'all see the courtroom, am I? Good Lord. Somebody said the cam's on you, bruh. It ain't bruh. It's Sheriff Drumstick. You want a citation? Then correct yourself. It ain't bruh. Sheriff Drumstick.
Miss Hancock, you said that you had seen on TV that my husband had passed away. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And you indicated after that that you saw my sister-in-law, Kay Woodcock, on that show and you reached out to her. Is that correct?
I didn't indicate that, but that is correct. I reached out to Kay after I saw that Charles had died.
Okay. And did you do that through Facebook or
I did.
social media? Okay. How many times between that first contact and now have you and Kay Woodcock communicated?
I've spoken to her just once. I've texted her here and there regarding, I've texted her here and there about other things. I don't know what I can say.
Okay. How many times have you texted her?
I have no idea.
Like more than 10?
Maybe.
Okay. Have you ever...
It's like she's asking these questions for her own personal jealousy.
Did they ask you for them?
Did he ever send you a selfie? Oh,
Did
somebody
you
just
ever
booted
turn
up a
over the
laptop.
text conversations you had with my husband to this date?
I was never asked, but I understand that they retrieved them via having them through Charles' phone.
Okay.
I would have had I been asked.
Somebody just said Sheriff Dumbstick.
Did you turn over any other communications that you had with anyone else regarding this case to the state?
Ban him from the chat. Arrest him.
I
Throw him in
don't really
jail.
Had any other
Arrest
regarding
warrant.
this case to turn over to anybody, so no.
Okay. How many times have you spoken to this prosecutor?
To Ms. Kay,
Yes, to Miss Kay.
I met with her once in person and one other phone call, and then just text messages about the logistics of being here today.
Okay. How many text messages would you say?
I have no idea.
More than 10?
I know court was running behind, so she had to text me to come at a different time. Probably counting yesterday and today to redo the time, more than 10, yes. Prior than that, probably no.
Okay. Did you have a meeting with her to prepare for this testimony?
I met with her once,
How long was that meeting?
an hour, maybe an hour and a half.
Okay. Was anyone else there?
No,
Have you ever spoken to my brother, Adam?
yes, but only because I ran into him at my grandson's pickleball tournament the other day.
Pickleball. I play pickleball.
And how did you know that was him?
Tell him to face me one-on-one.
Because I've seen him on media via the situation surrounding you.
So you initiated a conversation with him?
I just said hi, and he asked me who my grandson was, and I pointed it out, and that was the end of it.
So you introduced yourself to him? To my brother?
I don't know that I introduced myself, but maybe.
How would he know who you were?
I don't know that he knew who I was. I knew who he was.
So you went up and talked to him?
I did talk with him, yes.
He didn't call you over, so you went up and talked to him?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And when you were talking to him, you told him you were who?
I told him that my name was Nancy Jo Hancock.
The
And
Nancy
he
Jo
recognized
Hancock.
that
You
from
dang right. Queen, let him know. We stand behind Nancy Jo. I got ants in my pants for
Can I go back
Nance.
and change how I met your brother? I forgot this until right now. So on a dating app, your brother's picture came up on my dating app. And I sent him a message and said, but he had a different name that he used, not Adam. And so I just sent him a message and said if he was going to use someone else's pictures, he should probably pick someone different than Adam Cox. That's how I met him.
Damn.
That's how you met my brother, Adam? Do you know what perjury is?
Oh.
Absolutely.
I object.
Objection.
That's a question.
Argumentative.
What the
harassment.
fuck?
Argumentative.
Sorry for cussing, y'all.
How long was this conversation that you had with my brother at the pickleball tournament?
A couple of minutes, maybe less.
And
And how
how
many
many
times have you
points did he
communicated with
score
him before
at
that?
said pickleball
Only
tournament,
one message on
Nancy
that,
Joe?
not besides that,
One message, one time?
I don't remember. I think he messaged me back, and it didn't continue.
So just the one day then? Maybe several messages in one day?
I might have sent him one other message, but it was just one interaction, and there was nothing further.
And you did not schedule a date with him?
I did not.
Okay.
Okay. You know what perjury is, ma'am?
Have you ever spoken to Brandon Boudreau?
Yes.
Okay, when?
He attends the same church that my daughter does, and he happened to be at their house briefly, and I didn't really speak to him. I just knew that that's who he was
And how did you know who he was?
And ma'am, do you know what a dark is?
because my daughter told me.
You know what a zombie is?
And who did she say he was
Brandon Boudreau.
in relation to me?
She knows the story, and I know the story, so she just had to tell me that his name was Brandon Boudreau.
That he was married to my niece? Is that the information that you had?
I know that he was married to your niece, yes.
Okay. Just the association is all I was asking.
Oh, yes. Crack the
And you
case
did speak to him
open.
that time?
Well, I don't believe I spoke with him.
Okay. But you met him? Or
I don't know that I even met him. I was there. He was there with some other people, and I knew that that's who that was.
So you didn't introduce yourself to him?
I did not.
Okay. Did you speak to any other law enforcement besides Ms. K? Not that she's law enforcement, but did you speak to any other law enforcement about this case or be interviewed?
Yes.
Who? Who did you speak with?
Detective.
Some unruly citizen in the chat said, "What's with the zombie jokes?" Arrest him. Chat,
Moffett,
arrest
who
him.
interviewed me.
Arrest him. Read him his rights and arrest
I
him.
believe that that's. I might have left a message for him. I couldn't tell you who with, but the only one that I spoke to was Detective Moffett, Nathan Moffett.
And when was that interview?
In 2020, I believe in April.
We got a zombie in the chat, y'all. His name's
A
Tokyo.
long time ago.
He's a zombie.
Okay.
Casting
How long was
doubt.
that interview about?
Badgering the
It
sheriff.
was a
Badgering the
telephone
sheriff.
interview, and it lasted 45 minutes, I'd say.
Is that the only law enforcement that you spoke to besides the prosecutor?
Yes.
And how long between that interview with Detective Moffett and your first communications with Ms. K, how much time passed in between there?
With Trina Kay,
Correct.
I met with her just a month ago, 5 weeks ago, and I gave an interview in 2020, so.
Is that the first communication you had with Ms. K was 5 weeks ago?
Yes.
Okay. Ms. Hancock, were you aware at the time of your date that I did not know that my husband was on dating websites and dating women?
How would she be aware of that?
Sustained.
How do I know what you know, doofus?
Were you informed by him that that I knew of the situation of us being separated?
Well, he was under the impression you were having an affair, so him moving on was a natural effect from that.
Yeah, she was
He told
having.
you that?
She,
Yes,
she
he
was
did.
cheating with a zombie.
Just to recap, you said that you met my husband on Charles, on July 3rd. Is that correct?
Approximately. Did you ever take a day?
And you went on a date with him on July 10th.
Correct.
So that was what, 7 days later?
Approximately.
So would it be fair to say that you knew my husband for a week?
Approximately.
Okay. And then you had no contact with Charles after that, correct?
Well, he was dead, so clearly I didn't have contact with him.
Okay.
Okay.
And it wasn't until you saw that he had passed away on the news that you reached out to anyone, is that correct?
Correct. I didn't know he was dead.
And that was about 6 months later? Is that correct?
I believe it was December, so July to December is 5 months, I believe.
Okay. And then you found Charles' sister, Kay Woodcock, my sister-in-law, yes?
Objection asked and answered.
I'm just going over the timeline, Your Honor.
I'll allow it. Go ahead.
So when is the then you're referring to?
So at the 5 months later that you said in December, after that is when you contacted Kay Woodcock?
To express my condolences for her brother passing away, and wanted to let her know that I had had dinner with him that last night and how much he loved JJ and how excited he was to see him the next morning. And just
Thank you, that's enough.
Oh. Oh, whoa, ho! Lock. Oh, hell no. Wow. Oh. Well, Lord, you about to. There's smoke coming out of my ears. My little cowboy hat's about to pop off my head. Oh. Oh.
I'm just recapping here, and you contacted her through Facebook, is that correct?
And again, asked and answered.
I don't think that was actually asked yet. I'll overruled. Go ahead.
yes, as I said before, I contacted her through Facebook.
Okay. And then sent a few text messages, is that correct?
That is
Yeah.
correct.
This is recap of everything we've already gone through.
Objection. Let them fist fight. My money's on Nancy
And then you
Joe.
said you met with police on April 22nd, 2020, is that correct?
I didn't say April 22nd. I said I believed it was sometime in April.
Okay,
And I didn't meet with them. It was a telephone interview.
okay. And that was around 1 year after my husband passed away, is that correct?
Well, July to April would be 10 months, so.
No more questions, Your Honor?
All right, redirect.
Thank you.
Woof. Excuse me, some town drunk of a citizen just said, JSP, wear this outfit every day of this trial. It's not an outfit, it's a uniform. My name's Sheriff Drumstick, not JSP. And no, I will not wear it every day of this trial because next Monday, we have tomorrow, and then Monday I will be in full judge's attire to give my own rulings and pass down my own judgments on this case. So yeah, no. Lock her up. Citizen's arrest. I give everyone permission to citizen's arrest her.
Did you reach out to the police, or did the police reach out to you after you learned Charles was?
I
Public
reached out to the
drunk.
police.
Nuisance.
I was surprised given that if they'd seen his phone, they would see the text communication that we had had and that we had been at dinner that night before he died.
In terms of speaking with Charles's family, Kay Woodcock, did you know her before this?
No.
Had you heard her name through speaking with Charles?
Yes, from Charles. I knew that he had changed his life insurance to his sister Kay, and he talked quite a bit about Kay and his love for her and the relationship with JJ and how that they had adopted JJ.
So you understood the closeness he had with his sister.
Absolutely.
Look at her in the chat, y'all. I'm not drunk. Resisting. Use force. Arrest her. Citizens, get her.
And you said you reached out to pay your condolences.
I did.
When you learned that Charles was dead, were you shocked?
I was watching the TV and it was talking about a
Resisticus.
case and his picture came on the screen and shocked is an understatement, yes.
In terms of talking with Kay, have you ever tried to talk to other people to learn about or verify if the stuff that Charles told you is accurate?
No.
Is what you are telling us just what he told you?
What I'm telling you is part of what he told me. There's a lot more.
And did you tell the police all of what he told you? That you could remember at that time, I should say.
Thank you, Unnamed True Crime, for
I
the
believe-
donation.
No, I thought I would probably be interviewed again, and it was more an ask-answer format. There was, I remember being surprised that I wasn't interviewed again.
Okay. Because Charles had shared so much with you.
Correct.
In terms of the defendant's brother, Adam, did you ever talk with him about the case?
No.
Through media, did you recognize him?
I recognized him because I'd seen him on reports. And I knew that he was going to be testifying in this hearing.
When did you see him? When was this interaction
Like
at this pickleball?
a week and a half ago.
So a week and a half ago, when you see him at a pickleball tournament with your grandkid,
Pickleball.
you say hi to him?
Basically.
My Lord.
You don't talk at all about the case?
Bunch of sissies
We
in
might
this
have talked about
town.
that we were testifying. I don't know. No details for sure.
Okay.
Just a general, and then he saw who my grandson was. And
Thank you, Michael N., for the gifted memberships.
So nothing about, hey, I'm going to say
Thank you,
this,
Dawn,
or
for the $3
Charles
super
told me
sticker.
this.
absolutely not.
You just avoided arrest
When
for loitering
you
in the
and I
chat.
met, did we go through your testimony? Or let me get this straight. Did we go through what you told the police?
Yeah.
Did I indicate to you to just tell the truth?
You told me to tell the truth.
To all the brand new members who just got free memberships, you can now use custom emojis featuring me and Hissy Fit the cat. Check them out and start using them, people.
Whatever that was.
Whatever.
Or
that was.
else. Or else.
You were asked about the fact that you knew Charles for basically a week, right?
Correct.
Did he make an impression on you?
Charles was a large personality. It would be hard not to be impressed by his wit and just gregarious, big personality with his southern accent.
You were asked a lot on Cross about you dating a married man.
Correct.
What was your impression of where this relationship was between Charles and Lori Vallow when you and Charles started talking?
Well, I knew that they had separated and that they had reconciled, and I knew he had filed, and then he had recanted that. But he also had met
Thank you,
an attorney to
Krista, for the
begin
$5 super
the
sticker.
process again, and was very emphatic.
Just
that he was
avoided
done
arrest for loitering
with all the craziness.
and jaywalking
And was
across
that
the chat.
last time something that you understood to be very recent?
Prior test meeting?
Yeah.
Yes.
When he's talking to you.
20
he's
likes
telling you
away
about
from
your
1,000
sister
likes. Please,
the whole
y'all, show some
year of
love.
2019,
If
correct?
you're loving the hat
But this last.
and if you love justice.
Understanding that you had of him now going back to a divorce lawyer, was that something?
And if you want to
understood
keep your
to be
freedom, lock
very
them up if
recent
they
in
don't hit the
time
like button. I'll be
to
back.
that July 10th when you're meeting?
Correct.
Okay. And did you understand him to have even met with an attorney?
I believe he told me that, yes.
So that was where you were at,
Yes.
and that's what you understood Charles to be at.
Yes, and I will say, after having dinner with him, I did tell him that no one would want to be serious with him until he was further along in accomplishing that divorce that he was in the process of, including myself.
So even though you knew he was just barely starting now, did you still want to meet with him again?
Yeah, I wouldn't have entertained a serious relationship, but he was fun, and yeah, I would have met with him again.
All right. I have no other questions, Your Honor.
Are there any questions for this witness from the jury? I see at least one question coming down. I think we have our white noise.
The jury asked questions?
Yep.
All right. Justice can resume. Somebody said arrest him for stinking up the bathroom. Get Susan Ellis out of here. Lock her up for blasphemy. There's no law against stinking up the bathroom. That's what you do in a bathroom. Oh my God, pull your dang sweatpants up even more, sir. Lock up Saphira. for hate speech. Thank you. Hate speech. How long can someone tell me how long I've been live? Can someone tell me how long I've been live? The length of live to be told to me. Can someone tell me how long I've been live? 2 hours. Oh, Lord. Oh, someone said 2.5 hours. We'll go with them. Chrissy Ann, thank you. You all got it wrong. The proper officer jargon is approximately 120 minutes. Doofuses, man. All of you just lost your jobs. Turn in your badges and your firearms. And get the hell out of my sight. You're off the force. You're off the ding-dang force. Turn your badges in at the kiosk and get the hell out of my police station. Turn your cruisers into the lot. Melanie says, damn, I have a family to support. You should have thought of that. You should have thought of that. Now you're off the force. And you're under internal investigation. There's a couple pieces of evidence that came up missing. Couple kilos. Now you're under investigation.
Indications of stress.
You want to push? You want to keep pushing?
Definitely. He was very worried that.
I think we'll just keep it with a yes/no answer for this question. Does the defense have follow-up based on that juror question?
Look at this doofus, Aussie 93. Hello, Sheriff Drumstick. Lock him up, bribing an officer. Bribing an officer, lock him up. I don't trust it. Nice try, Aussie 93. Lock him up. Lock him up now. Keep him under watch.
Does the defendant have follow-up based on that juror question?
Oh, no, Your Honor.
All right, state.
No.
All right, you can step down. Thank you.
Thank you.
State can call its next witness.
What did they say? What'd you say? Safira, $10 donation. Please don't fire me, Sheriff. I'll give you one more chance, but you're getting demoted to rookie deputy, rookie officer, beat cop, patrolman. I tell you what, you're doing traffic. You're conducting traffic outside the local elementary school. You've been demoted to that. And all the responsible mothers can get mad at you for stopping them when it's their turn to go. But you can keep your job. How about that? It ain't easy being a sheriff. It ain't easy. Gabby says, glad I don't got to hand my badge in. I haven't done anything. Lock her up. Falsifying a police report. Lock her up and take her badge. Glad I hadn't. I don't have to. I haven't. Glad I don't have to. Take her badge and lock her up. Now. Everybody behave while we're on sidebar. Who gave Pablo authority? The people. The people.
All right, members of the jury, we're going to take a little bit of an earlier recess.
Excuse me? Lock the judge up. Lock him up.
Please remember your recognition.
Recess. Everybody sit down. I said sit down. Lock up the judge. Recess. You gone soft, Your Honor. Recess. What are we playing? Freeze tag? Make America slime again. Pablo needs to be locked up. Somebody arrest him. Conspiracy? Conspiracy. Don't worry, buddy. The feds will pick you up. RICO. RICO racketeering. Racketeering. Okay? Who said Sheriff Lips? What? What's that supposed to be? Keira Knightley wants her lips back. Lock him up. Lock him up. Lock him up. Lock him up. You sound like my alcoholic Uncle Jack. Tell you what. Tell you what. Watch yourself. I wouldn't go driving my vehicle past 10 o'clock if I was you. I can't cite a law that you're breaking, but I can advise you. Don't go out. Don't leave your house past 10 p.m., ma'am. You're running your flappers like that. Okay? Because your drunk uncle, he's with us. In cell 3. Do you love your uncle? Act like it. Be a damn shame something happened. All right, boys. Deputies, sergeants, corporals. We're going to call it here. I have food to distribute to my cats, my corporal cats, my kiosk kittens. And I'm not going to lie. I believe this KFC is starting to come back on me. And it's not... I've got to attend to that. But we had a good time today, right? And we'll be back tomorrow and we'll continue it. And I will not be here Monday, but Justice of the Peace, Justice of the Peace and Servitude, aka JPS, not JSP. Justice of Servitude and Peace, JSP, will be here Monday in full attire. So had fun with y'all. I'm sorry to everyone who got arrested and has a court date now and citation. Mind your manners when Justice of Servitude and Peace gets here Monday. And we'll have fun. All right. See y'all.